You know how little kids are just bursting with creativity? I mean, they draw and build and imagine without a care in the world. But have you ever stopped to wonder, where does all that go? Today, we're digging into a really critical moment in a child's life, a specific point where that amazing creative spark often just fizzles out. So, this all starts with a story from an art teacher. She runs a studio for kids, and over the years, she started noticing something, a pattern that's honestly as fascinating as it is a little bit heartbreaking. Okay, so picture a room just full of 2-year-olds. They're splashing paint, they're smooshing clay, and they are having the time of their lives. The teacher says it's just this space of pure joy. They're not trying to make a masterpiece, they're just creating. They're experimenting and expressing themselves with absolutely zero inhibitions. And here's the thing, it's not just random scribbling. The teacher sees that at this super young age, a child is, in their own way, a true artist. They are just overflowing with this creative energy, they're happy, and you can even see them starting to develop their own unique style. And get this, she says their work often has genuine artistic merit. It's the real deal, just pure, unfiltered expression. But then something changes. It's like this incredible, colorful journey just hits a brick wall. This is what our source material calls the creative breakpoint. And it happens a lot earlier than you'd probably guess. So just look at this timeline. At age 2, that creative spark is like a bonfire. But then you fast forward to age 10, we're talking 3rd grade, maybe 4th, and that fire's just out. And it's not like it slowly fades away. Nope, it's a sudden stop, a break point. So the big question is, what on earth is going on here? Right? Why does a kid who absolutely loves to paint or draw or build just suddenly stop? What changes so dramatically in those few years? Well, this slide pretty much says it all. Before this breakpoint, a kid's life is full of art, imagination, and creative play. But after, the whole focus shifts. Suddenly, it's not about art class anymore. It's about getting tutoring in Mandarin, math, and English. The very thing they loved gets pushed to the side for what everyone decides is more necessary. And this isn't just a one-off story about a few kids. The source is clear that this is a widespread cultural thing, calling it a huge breakpoint for artistic creation in Taiwan. It's this moment where a kid's passion is basically sacrificed for academic performance. A choice is made for the child, not by them. Okay, but does it have to be this way? Does it have to be a choice between art and algebra? Well, thankfully, there's another way to look at this, a different philosophy that shows us a path forward. The solution being proposed is this philosophy called Love Reading, Understand Art. And the core idea is actually pretty simple, but it's powerful. It says that a child's education should not be an either-or situation. It's all about finding a balance, a way for academics and passions to actually live side by side, and maybe even help each other out. So how does this actually work in real life? Well, it boils down to 2 really basic steps. First, you make sure the child keeps up with their core subjects. They don't have to be a genius, right? But they shouldn't fall behind. And second, and this is absolutely crucial, you do not let them abandon the things they genuinely love. You protect that space for them. And this whole idea isn't just a short-term fix to get through elementary school. The goal of this kind of balanced approach is something much, much bigger. We're talking long-term. Here it is. The ultimate goal is to let a child follow their interests for their entire life, to make that passion a real, lasting part of who they are, not just something they did when they were little that got crushed by academic pressure. It's about turning a childhood hobby into a lifelong interest. And that brings us to a really direct, heartfelt message. This is for all the parents listening right now. It's a powerful reminder of what's really at stake when we make these kinds of decisions. This, right here, is the heart of it all. Childhood isn't a dress rehearsal. It's finite. It's irreversible. We only get one shot to nurture the person our child is becoming. The choices we're making right now about what matters, what to protect, they're going to shape them forever. We don't get a do-over on this. So we're left with this question to think about. And it isn't just about art, right? This could be about music or sports or writing or coding, anything a child loves. How do we, as the adults in their lives, create a world where their academic growth doesn't come at the cost of the things that make them light up? How can we protect that spark before we reach the breakpoint?